Florida opening its first medical marijuana dispensary in Tallahassee this week, and the company called Trulieve is planning to expand to other parts of Florida. Dispensaries will be opening in Pensacola, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa, and one very close to home.
The City Commission had a City Council meeting on Monday night, which many of us attended. We demonstrated outside the City Hall, and then we went in, and there were probably maybe 16 of us that spoke in support of medical cannabis dispensaries being allowed within the city limits of Sarasota. The only people that spoke against it were two representatives from the Sarasota City Police Department, who, interestingly enough, talked about public safety and didn't mention anything about the decrease in domestic violence and suicides among our veterans and fewer drunk drivers, a lot of the positive effects in public safety they failed to mention. And we feel they misled the City Council, which helped them come to a decision to extend the ban on medical cannabis dispensaries within the city limits. We think that these people that we elect to serve us as voters would listen to our opinion when we have a vote in the state of almost 72% in favor of medical marijuana, and within the city limits, let me make sure this is right, about 80% of the voters within the city limits of Sarasota approve this. And for some reason, they refuse to follow the will of the people. It is a constitutional amendment for the state of Florida, and the governor has had to do a few things to make sure the state doesn't get sued. But we cannot understand why they would go against the will of the people. If you're paying attention and you're doing your homework, you study the science a little bit, you realize a lot of the accusations and the stigmas that were created are unfounded. They're not based on any truth or any science that most of us would look to in a situation like this. In Israel, where they've done research, if you Google Israel cannabis, you'll read about a doctor that researched for many, many, many years. He did research with cancer, with smoking cannabis, and what they found is not only was it mislabeled as something that killed brain cells, he found that it was actually reconnecting tissue in the brain to heal people that had types of brain dysfunction and neuromuscular conditions. He used it as a salve to treat skin cancer successfully. He treated a couple of different forms of breast cancer. He treated pancreatic cancer that my mother had. And we lost my mother to pancreatic cancer because we just couldn't get the medical cannabis legal fast enough here. As far as what the city is doing in terms of the moratorium or ban on medical cannabis dispensaries, the governor has put them in a position where it appears no matter what they do now, they'll probably get sued. Their city attorney went as far as to say that if they did not extend the ban, that would lead to total chaos, because that kind of hysteria feeds the stigma and the hype on unfounded fears. They've created fears among people that don't understand it, and our city is supposed to be a city of prosperity, a city of diversity, a city that's trying to create what they call green jobs. A perfect opportunity to bring another industry in and create green jobs, and they've let that chance get away. One of the many things that supporters of medical cannabis can do to help further the cause for our patients and our relatives and our friends is to make sure that at least once a week you call your city commissioners, you email them, you write them letters, and you ask to meet with them concerning the injustice that this ban inflicts upon some of the sickest and weakest people that in some cases don't have a lot of time to live.